Alley Cat here with my 99 Integra. The reason I'm doing the Surtec gels video is because the car started consuming more oil and I wasn't getting as good gas mileage. So, you know, if you go to the surtecgels.com website, they have some pretty high promises and a money back guarantee. So, you know, I don't have the money for an engine haul, so I mean, if this doesn't work, well then why not try it? I don't have anything to lose, right? Well, according to the company. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just getting my 1999 Integra ready to put some Surtec gels into it. I want to review it, test it out, see if they're everything that they claim to be. Right now I'm just kind of on the instructions that they send with you. Sorry. But anyway, so we're starting here. Add 1 tube to a partial bottle of oil and shake it up. Add to the existing oil of a warmed up engine. Circulate for 5 minutes. So right now I'm just letting the engine warm up, and it is smoking a little bit down by the dipstick, but it's because I spilled oil while I was checking it. I did change it to a conventional oil, and as you can see, it's really not running that poorly, but we're going to run a compression check here in a minute. But I just wanted to kind of give you a view of it's not terrible. I'm going to put the Surtec gel in just a minute, but before I do, like I said, I want to do a compression check. I want to do it before I put the Surtec gels into the engine and after. So give me just a moment, and I'm going to get, I'm going to disable the ignition and the fuel injectors by undoing this fuse down in here. So give me a moment to get all prepared and we'll run our compression test. Here we are, ready to do our compression compression test. I've got my compression tester already in cylinder 4. Unfortunately, the engine is still hot. And if you do it while it's still hot, be very careful because aluminum is a soft metal, and I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to ruin my threads. So I'm going to go ahead and get in the car and press the gas pedal all the way down. We want a wide open throttle, and we're going to give it about 5 seconds or about 7 pumps, and we'll see what our test results for cylinder 4 are. So here we go. Alright, so that should be enough for cylinder 4, and we can see that we're at about 185, 190, which is normal for that cylinder because I have done a compression test before, but I just want a good record of my compression results before we use the Surtec gels. Okay, so I've got it hooked into cylinder 3, so I'm going to go ahead and crank it over a few times, see what our compression is. Wide open throttle. Alright, and we're looking pretty good at about 185 on cylinder 3, so I'm pretty pleased with that. We're ready to go ahead and do a compression test on cylinder 2. I wanted to show you the spark plug that came out of that cylinder. Sorry, trying to get that to focus. As you can see, this one's all ashy. It just doesn't look good, surprisingly. My car is not misfiring. I do have the code reader hooked up to the car if you're interested to see what codes my car may be throwing. But as of right now, my secondary O2 sensor has been disabled for quite some time, so it is throwing that code and the evap canister code, but those things should not be causing the pressure in cylinder number 2 to be reduced. There are issues that do need to be fixed, but to me they're not that dire when I have an engine issue going on that I'd rather fix. So we'll go ahead and compression test cylinder number 2. Alright, and it's at about 145. I know it's kind of hard to see from over there, but I know that this is where my issue is coming from. And actually, while I've got this cylinder open, I might actually go ahead and do a wet compression test just to confirm and see if it's my cylinder rings like I suspect. So give me just a second. Let me get some oil in there and we'll test that. Just want to use about a cap full or so. I wish I had a better cone. I don't even know if using a cone is going to make a difference. But yeah, I've been doing dry compression tests, so I'm very curious to see what this wet compression test is going to do. So go ahead and get that back in there, and let's see if we can confirm if it's our piston rings. Alright. Sounds kind of silly. I've never done a wet compression test to confirm, but here we go. And yep, that's what I suspected. I have with oil in that cylinder. It's actually at a normal PSI in there. It's actually at about 180. So the Certec gels are supposed to help me out with this issue, if that's really what the issue is. So there we have it. It's at about 180. It's just right. It'd be awesome if all cylinders were 180 across. So yeah. Let's go ahead and check our last cylinder. Alright, so here we are, testing cylinder number 1, our last cylinder to test. Excuse me. Alright, and this cylinder is also looking good at about 185. That's what we want to see. So, whoops, there we are. So cylinder 2 is the only one that got a wet compression test because that's the only one that needed it. So give me another moment and we'll go ahead and mix our Certec gel into some oil that we set aside, and we're going to add that and let the car run for about 5 minutes. Now that I've assembled everything back together, put my injector fuse back in and reconnected the distributor, put all my spark wires back together and everything. We're ready to go ahead and add the Certec gel. The engine's already been warmed up, so there we go. Sorry, I know you guys don't want to watch me do the tedious things. But anyways, instructions says to get some oil, and like I said, I'm using conventional oil because that's what the company recommended to me. And it says to go ahead and put your Certec gel into the oil. It's not even a clear liquid. It's kind of looks like glue or something. But anyways, just one 8 milliliter tube of the Certec gel for our first treatment. And it says put it in the oil, shake it up, and then add it to the rest of your oil and let it run for 5 minutes. So shake this really good. I don't want to lose any of this product because it is pretty pricey, but then again, it's not as much of an engine overhaul if it works, so I really hope it does. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not sponsored. I did this solely with my own money, and I just didn't think there was enough feedback out there on the internet for a product that's been around, I think they said 14 or 15 years. There's just not enough feedback out there for me, so, but what is available, it wasn't bad. So just using regular 5W30 conventional oil, and hopefully I get every drop of this out because I want this treatment to work. So we're just gonna let the car run for about 5 minutes, and I've got some errands to run and that's gonna help me add up my 100 miles that I need before I do the second treatment. And when it's time to do the oil change after 100 miles of running the car, or you can let it sit for 4 hours, is what the instructions said. But after I let it run for 100 miles, then I'll come back. We'll redo a compression test to see if the first treatment helped at all, and we'll go ahead and change the oil and do our second treatment, and that's supposed to kind of wrap it up for for a 4 to 6 cylinder car. Now I did buy the V8 package because it says at about the 50,000 mile mark, if this car lasts that long, that you can do a half treatment to kind of maintain the ceramics that have stuck to the cylinder walls. So sounds like a pretty interesting product. So yeah, we'll see if it works. Like I said, there just wasn't enough info out there for me, so hopefully this will help someone. So we'll see you in about a week or two. I did want to take a moment and, I've already put the treatment in and everything, and I know it's not going to fix the blow-by right away, but I did want to show the blow-by. It's not terrible. There's not like fumes coming out of it, but oh geez, you can see all the oil going everywhere. So let me close that